Okay.
I'm glad I got you back, but what I was asking you before is, so there are hundreds of languages,
Yeah.
local languages in Indonesia.
Yes.
Um, I don't really know personally what that's like because here in the US, like many countries, we only have one local language, and all of the other languages are foreign languages. So,
Okay.
how is it growing up in Indonesia where there are so many local languages? Like, how do
Yeah,
people
yeah.
communicate?
We have many languages in every region, yeah, but all the people in Indonesia can speak Indonesia bahasa. So if you come from the one region like in Jogja, yeah, you talking with other people, Jogja people, I mean, they using a Java language, yeah. But when they talking with other people that's not in Jogja people, they using Indonesia. So if they not from the same region atau same place, they using the Indonesia using a bahasa.
I see. So,
Yeah,
so these different languages are just spoken in certain cities.
yeah, yeah.
Do you speak a local language other than Indonesian?
Indonesian language, you mean? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course. My mom is from Jogja, so I can speak Java a little bit, and my father is from the Sumatra, so I can speak Batak a little bit. So I have
wow.
three language in Indonesia, yeah.
Wow.
Bahasa, Java, and then Batak one.
So you grew up in a multi-language family, so
Yeah, yeah.
you could say that you actually speak three languages as a first language, would you say?
Mm, yeah, I think when we visit my family in Sumatra, we using that language, Sumatra language. When I visit my family in Jogja, yeah, sometimes we using the Java language. But when we meet all the big family, we using Indonesia. From the Sumatra and Jogja come together, we using Indonesia.
I see. Wow, that's really interesting. Is there a language that you're most comfortable with?
Of course, Indonesia bahasa.
I see. So how many languages altogether do you speak?
Uh, Indonesia bahasa, Batak, Java, and English.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
The
How about
way
you?
that
You
yeah.
you can Korea. Korea is a difficult one. I think they have a different writing and it is hard, yeah, like Chinese.
Well, Hangul, the Korean writing, it's not
Yeah, yeah.
really that hard to be
Are you
honest.
sure?
Yeah, you could learn Hangul in a week
Hangul.
because it's phonetic. So
Hmm.
every character has its own sound. So it's super easy to learn how to read. I would say it's easier to learn to read Hangul than it is to learn to read English. Like,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it's very interesting. Um, from what I understand from my like Hangul lessons, there was a leader that he wanted to make it possible for everyone to read. So he would
Hmm.
have to, I think they were using Chinese characters back then. And so
Yeah.
he created this new language system that was so simple that anyone could learn how to read it, even
Wow.
people that didn't have time to go to school. So that was, I I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what I remember about my Hangul lessons.
Yeah.
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 So learning these different languages growing up, were there differences in how you learned these different languages?
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
So
Wow.
learning these different
Uh,
languages growing up, were there differences in how you learned these different languages?
mm, I think learning at my home, yeah, in my family, we still using Indonesian language, ya, bahasa language. But when we come back from like we going to Sumatra atau others place in Indonesia, so we learning from other family, not from own family, not from my mom, my father, but I learn from the other family. Yeah, like in Sumatra, we learn in there. Like in Java, we learn in there. Yeah,
So is that's pretty different from how you learned English, right?
yeah. Of course.
Um, did you said that you learned English through movies, but like did you also learn through school and courses and things like that?
Oh yeah. Of course lah, like in school, like in course, yeah. But the more effective is watching movie, yeah, I think, and talking more with people, yeah.
Yes,
It's more
definitely.
effective than you learn from the theory, from the book, yeah, from the course and school. I don't think that's so effective, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with this. Like
Yeah,
learning some of your local languages through your family, that is a really great way to learn a language. I mean, to learn a language through communicating with someone.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite way to learn languages?
Yeah, movie one of them.
Movies?
And meet others people ya. There are apa the app we meet Speaky, that's a good one. Yeah, we
Yes.
can talk about the people and they have the menu above correct apa the grammar ya, correct the grammar, correct your chat ya. Many
Yes.
people is correct the chat, so I can, oh, I was wrong so far and that's the right one. I learned so many grammar from that app. Yeah, I don't know, do you have another application like that or no? It's, I think
Um,
that's cool one.
yeah,
Speaking.
I mean, there are other apps like this, but I think by far as language exchange websites and apps are concerned, Speaky is definitely my favorite. I think
Yeah,
you'll find more people there. Of course, it depends on what language you're learning, but
yeah.
um, I find more people on Speaky than on any
Yeah,
other app. And I absolutely love, like what you said, when you're chatting with people, they can correct your
yeah,
sentence. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, me too. And I also like that you can record what you're saying and send it
Oh,
to
are
them.
you sure?
What?
I don't know that.
Yeah, you can
We
do
can
that.
record. Oh,
Yeah, there's a little record button or like a little microphone, and you hold that
okay.
down and you talk, and you can send a voice message to the
Oh,
other person. And that's how I practiced, like when I learned, when I was very basic in beginning
hmm.
Korean, I would have my Korean book and I would study it and I would learn how to pronounce it. And then I would just practice like saying it over and over again, sending voice
Wow.
messages to different people.
Yeah.
But it worked because
Yeah, it
um,
works.
absolutely people thought that I was fluent in Korean because I was so good at pronouncing the different words that I was using. You know? I focus so
Yeah.
heavily on pronunciation. That's really important.
Okay.
Yeah,
How long about bahasa? How you can speak bahasa, right?
a little.
A
I've
little.
definitely lost it throughout
Egg
the
years
years.
ya, egg years in Indonesia. And how
Yes.
long you apa, can speaking to other people? How long you take the time to learn bahasa?
That's a
One
really
years
interesting
or
question. because when I was living in Indonesia, it was like off and on, like I would practice and then
Yeah.
stop for a while and then practice again. But definitely the best ways for me to learn was when I was practicing with someone who barely spoke any English.
Hmm.
I learned a lot from those experiences. But I feel like my Indonesian didn't improve as fast as it could have because
Wow.
where I was living, everyone wanted to speak Javanese. So I
Wow.
wasn't really surrounded in Indonesian. You know, everyone spoke Javanese to each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
even at
yeah.
work.
I know
So
that.
yeah, that was definitely a confusing way of trying to learn Indonesian. I would often like accidentally come up with Javanese words.
You take a course, Indonesia course too, in there.
Like a specific course. I never actually went to a course
Wow.
before, but I had a friend that was an Indonesian language teacher, and she, had a few sessions with me. We met and we practiced. So that was really helpful. Like that was helpful in getting to understand the grammar and getting started with that. Um,
Okay.
but I have to get going because I have to meet another person for another session. But thank you so much for coming on to my show. I really
Okay.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And it was so nice to meet you, Noel.
Yeah, yeah. We live in YouTube. This no kan?
Yeah,
You must
yeah, you'll
edit.
see
Oh,
this
are
on
you
YouTube.
sure? You don't edit or apa?
So, yeah, you'll
Make
see it on
the
YouTube.
Mhm. You not edit before the video.
Well, yeah, you can go to YouTube and watch it there. And yeah, if you have any questions, just send me a message.
Okay.
All
So you
right.
doing this every day with other people?
Almost every day, every Monday.
Wow, it's
Yes,
cool.
every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I post on my channel Speaking English Today.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I have videos of me driving around in the US. So
Oh,
those are really interesting too, if you want to kind of get an idea for what the US looks like.
okay. Just send me the link. Yeah.
All right, I will. Have a great
Okay.
day. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Have a great day. Thank you.